All right, ladies and gentlemen. Throughout Avicii's career, there were supporters, peers, collaborators who were there from the beginning, showing their support and love and helping him develop as an artist. My next discussion is going to be with one of those artists who has been a support and inspiration for many producers over the years, and is and was one of Tim's very good friends. This is Tiësto.
How you doing?
How you doing, sir?
I'm good.
Are you maintaining through this this isolation? How do you do isolation during
Yeah, well, I actually really like it. I mean, I get a lot more time to do other stuff because I was always touring and traveling and always busy, and I would feel like the whole world stopped. So it took me a
yeah.
couple of weeks to get into it, but now I feel like I have time to read books and more time in the studio, more time to discover new music. So everything is in a lower pace, and I kind of like it. So
Of course. I mean, talking about that pace, the first time I had a chance to see you in concert wasn't even live. I was in the middle of Russia in New Siberia stadium, and I asked my friends, like, who is that rocking an entire stadium from turntables? And then from there, I was like, I got to meet this guy one day. I got to
yeah,
meet him.
yeah, and then we did.
So it's a whole new world, and today I'm celebrating Tim's life and spending the whole 24 hours doing tribute to him. So I wanted to
Wow.
talk to you about your experiences with Tim and some of the fond memories that you may have. But really, the first question is, when did you first hear about Avicii?
I first heard about him. I had my radio show, Tiësto's Club Live, and I think his manager was sending me tracks like mashups and bootlegs he made, and I liked them right away. So every week I would play an Avicii, like more like a mashup. So it was not really his own tracks, and that's the first time I heard about him. And then
So was he mashing two separate artists, or was he producing a remix over something else?
a bit of both actually. Yeah.
Okay.
So he did both. Yeah. Sometimes a mashup with two different artists, and but a lot of remixes as well and bootlegs. Yeah. Yeah.
And so, in your radio show, when you were playing these, recognizing, oh, there's talent here, I'm going to play this guy more than once. When did you finally get a chance to meet him? Because I think at that point he was still a bedroom producer, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, he hasn't played live yet. I think the first time I met him was back in 2008. I moved to Sweden in 2008, so just for a change of pace in my life. And I went out one night there, and I literally met everybody that same night: Galantis, Swedish House Mafia, Otto Knows, and also Avicii. And then because we already knew each other from the mashups, we just started talking and hit it off right away. And yeah, we talked pretty much all night about music and other stuff. And yeah, he was 18 years old, I think, 18 or 19 maybe. Yeah.
Amazing. Was it a club night event or a festival?
No, it was actually Mike Snow live. The band Mike Snow. They played live
Wow.
at a hotel called Berns.
Hmm.
And so we all went there, and I met him. I met them all there. So it was really
Yeah,
awesome.
that's an important venue. I've played there. That's like definitely like the center of activity that's happening. And
Yeah,
um,
yeah, it's really in the center of Stockholm. It's an amazing venue. I think it's a couple hundred years old or something. And yeah, every legendary artist performs there. So yeah, no, it
right.
was great. That's where we met, and yeah.
So after that first meeting, it was just maybe crisscrossing around the world at different festivals, right? Crossing paths.
Well, before that, I mean, he was still only a bedroom DJ
Hmm.
or producer. So I asked him to come to me into Ibiza to play before me every Monday night. So that's how he could learn how to DJ. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. Because
So
that
I took him under my wing, and he stayed at my house in Ibiza the whole summer, and that's why we really became close friends.
would you say that was around 2009, 2010?
Yeah, 2009 probably, yeah, or 2010. I forgot. I think 2009. Yeah, the summer of 2009 or 10.
So
Yeah,
just because as a creator in the studio, you don't necessarily build the kind of skills to have the timing for, you know, a live show.
Yeah.
And basically going to Ibiza gave him that opportunity to start measuring how to react to the audience, or at least know what to build into your set before you get there.
Yeah.
Did
No, I,
you work with him closely on that, or did you let him just handle it on his own?
no, we worked closely on that. We talked a lot about DJ sets in general. I mean, as a producer, there was nothing I could learn him. I could learn from him a lot. You know, he was a brilliant producer and super creative. But as a DJ, in the beginning, he was definitely a bit more struggling. So I helped him quite a lot with that, and that was really nice to do as well. You know, so we learned a lot from each other.
Yeah. When I was with him in 2013, I recognized that, you know, before we did Ultra, there was a charity event that he was throwing. And he was preparing his set, getting it ready because he wanted to share some brand new music that hadn't been heard before. And it was all sort of a prepared DJ set, just to keep the nerves off. So he didn't have to worry about being nervous to prepare this and be ready for Ultra the next day. Um,
Yeah.
and so in creating these prepared sets, um, did did you get a chance to work with him on building out, you know, sets that were pre-planned rather than like completely spontaneous?
No, no, it was Tim and I became really good friends, but we were really close friends, and we talked about a lot of personal stuff, and we didn't really work much together. So that first year in Ibiza, we spent a lot of time together, and he really learned how to become a DJ. And after that, we kind of lost track of each other because became so big, and he was
Yeah,
touring around the world, and I was touring around the world, so we barely saw each other anymore. And yeah, so after that summer when he blew up, we lost track of each other for a
right.
couple of years. So I
Yeah.
missed that whole part. Yeah, I was playing actually after him at Ultra that year in 2013. That was legendary, man. You guys,
It was legendary, but
yeah,
you know, it was an interesting moment. I don't know that the audience was ready for what we did. It felt strange when I was on stage. Did it feel as though that being before you set the audience up for you? Or was it
um,
like, uh-oh, I've got to build this audience back up?
no, not really, because you know everybody does his own thing, and I have Kaiko before me sometimes, and he's also playing completely different
Slower,
music and
relaxed. Yeah.
low relaxed, so it doesn't really matter. And sometimes I have a guy playing before me who plays really hard. But what I do think about that moment, because you know they had the biggest hit in the world after that, after Ultra. But at Ultra, you're right, people didn't seem ready, and it feels like people don't realize if you have so many negative comments coming at you that it can actually hurt you as a person. And I think Tim
Mm.
definitely got heartbroken by what he thought was brilliant, and it was brilliant. I mean, "Wake Me Up" is the best song in the world, and
It came to prove it, yeah.
came to prove it. But at the moment, you put your heart and soul in your album, you play it for the first time live, and the whole crowd is kind of booing it away. I mean, that as a person, you know, that feels really tough. And I wonder if that had any influence on him later for those insecurities, you know. People think like, oh, he's an artist, you can say whatever you want, but it hurts you as a person and as an artist. And I think people don't really realize that when they put comments out on Facebook or Instagram or anything.
Yeah. There was a lot of backlash. I felt like it seemed 50-50.
Yeah,
And you know, when you're the person that's receiving all of that, it's definitely going to affect you, and make you, I think, feel, you know, a bit self-conscious of what you're doing. I'm glad though that it didn't deter him from, you know, making that the actual song that he wanted to release, because there's also another thing that I've heard is you want people to be either loving it or hating it, nobody on the fence, because then you know you've got something. If somebody has a reaction, they're not
yeah,
indifferent to it, then you know you have something.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, you want to really like, the best
But
part is like when people first hate your music and then 2 months later, the whole world loves it. It's
yeah,
kind of like, you know, I was right.
yes, it
So
is a sweet feeling to have that kind of vindication.
Yeah.
Wow. So you've remixed, you know, some of a song from Avicii. Can you talk about some of a remix that you've done?
Yeah, I did remixed one of his last songs. I mean, yeah, I mean, the album was so personal, and I think the lyrics were very personal. So it was, yeah. When I heard the song, I knew right away what to do with it.
And for your remix, you know, what was your thought in terms of direction and how to approach it?
Well, the original was pretty radio friendly, but not really for the festivals. And I like to make festival bangers most of the time. So I always try to make it a little bit harder, put more energy in it, so I can really play it out and get 50,000 people going at the same time. You know, it's a lot harder to do that when the tracks are a little softer. So yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, we got a chance to do a tribute to Avicii at EDC. It was pretty fresh.
Yeah.
He had just passed, and that moment for me was quite powerful. I think everybody needed that moment, and you were the right one to help share that in Vegas in 2018.
Yeah, it was a special moment for me too. It was you were crying, laughing, happy, emotional, and all these emotions come in. And in the crowd as well, you could feel it. Everybody was happy because the music Avicii made was amazing, but everybody was also sad because he passed away. So it was, yeah, you had this, your whole body would go back and forth all the time. It was definitely a moment I'll never forget. And when you came on stage, it wake me up, and I had to dive under the DJ booth for a second just to
Oh wow,
get myself together again. But it was really powerful, man. It was incredible.
Yeah, you did another really emotional tribute at Tomorrowland.
Yeah, that was
In
was
2019.
really spontaneous because at Tomorrowland I didn't even realize it. I just played. We did a mashup and of his song, and it fitted so perfect on an instrumental song I had from two other guys from Sweden, and I played it, and suddenly I was playing it, and then Tomorrowland is one of those festivals where you always come together, all the DJs, and it was a moment for me that I thought. Then the lyrics kicked in, and I was like, "Oh wow, gotta learn how to live without you." And then I thought about not just Tim, but I also thought about other people I lost.
Oh yeah,
in the last couple of years, and for some that in that moment at Tomorrowland, the whole song kicked into my face, and I had to really pull myself together again. Sometimes I get very emotional when I, listen to music, or you think about people or times where you were. And the music is the most powerful thing there is.
it really is. It really is. We have a tremendous responsibility with this music because we have the ability to help people be comforted and to celebrate. It draws a lot of emotion. Where are you holding on to a lot of unreleased tracks from Tim?
No, not really. No. We did one thing together. Was Tim, Sebastian Ingrosso from the Swedish House Mafia, and me. We did a song together, and it was a cool song, but we never really released it. And I did one other song with him, just the two of us. We did it in the studio in Las Vegas, but both songs were not releasable, I think, and we all felt like the same. We're like, yeah, you know what? If it's Avicii and Tiësto, or Avicii, Tiësto,
Needs to be better. Yeah.
So I think not every song is always good, right? So you write like 10 songs, and maybe one is good, and the other 9 you're like, So that's what happened. And we never had the time really to finish it off either. Both times we were in the studio for like 3 hours, 4 hours, and because we're all traveling and all, everybody was blowing up, so we didn't have time to come back together again.
Yeah,
it's very unique that you have 3 or 2 top DJs at the same time free in the studio.
That's a pretty rare occasion. Do you have photos from that moment? Or do you forget to take photos?
I think we forget to take photos. A lot of times I've been with celebrities, and and big artists and DJs, and I just live in the moment. Then I'm not like, okay, let's take a picture. You know, I met pretty much everybody in the world, from Kanye West to Drake to Bono, and
Yeah.
but I'm always just like enjoy the moment with them more, and try to get to know the person instead of taking a picture with him and ruining the moment. So yeah, I'm not very big on pictures when it comes to that.
Nah, it makes a lot of sense. I agree. You know, after Wake Me Up, I was not really sure if I wanted to do any dance collaborations,
Mm-hmm.
unless something was going to be a moment that I felt was as lyrically and musically as strong as Wake Me Up. And when we had our opportunity to do Carry You Home, that was the first, you know, dance collaboration release after Wake Me Up, mainly because, you know, of your music, your legacy. I definitely felt like that lyric and that song was going to be strong enough to stand next to something like Wake Me Up.
Yeah.
So thank you for the opportunity to share a song with you as well, Tiësto.
Yeah, no, thank you, and that's a big honor. I mean, I think "Wake Me Up" is definitely on its own level, and but "Carry You Home" is a very beautiful, emotional song, and
Yeah.
also I think your voice, man, it's just incredible. It fits on everything. Like when you sing, the song is pretty much done. You just have to add a little beat or something, and it's epic. So
Man, thank you.
you're very talented.
So I hope that you have a good rest of the day, and that you
Yeah,
are uh, finding a way through this moment of isolation. But thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and memories and feelings about our friend Tim
yeah.
Bergman.
I still miss him, man. So hey, and
Absolutely.
enjoy the rest of your 24 hours. Yeah.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.